Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 42, where only one of us is hopped up on painkillers. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
You're gonna have to guess which one. Actually, might not even be a true statement. Because if you're not talking about me, then we're both on painkillers.
Oh yeah, I had shoulder surgery this week, so
Then we're both on painkillers.
they gave me some oxy.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Holy crap!
and it's not as great as it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, I know, but when I had my shoulder done, they only gave me tramadol.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't work much.
It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work at all.
My doctor is very anti-pain. Did you when you had your shoulder done? Did they give you the nerve block?
Yes. Yes.
Did they were you awake for it?
When you have to be awake for the guy to find the spot to put it in, but then they put it in I don't know if he put it in while I was awake. I don't remember it being as traumatic as when I took it out being awake.
Oh,
Have you taken yours out yet?
Oh yeah. Mine wore off. They did a straight injection of local anesthetic on the nerves.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that little machine that you had to sit in your lap that runs for like 2 days, spitting in chemicals.
No, I didn't have that.
Oh, you didn't have that little box that you took home from the
No.
surgery that sat there, and I had a little tube that was, well, it's not a little tube. It was probably, what is that, a foot? 18 inches? It was long, dude, and I had to pull it out of my back, and my girlfriend was doing it, and she just kept pulling and pulling and pulling. Yeah, he had stuck it way down, and yeah, it was
yours is worse
unbelievably
than mine.
gross.
But for those who don't know, the nerve block, they use an electrified needle to find the right nerves.
Yeah, everything starts to. He's like, there it is. Yeah. And then he keeps poking around to make sure that he's kind of where he's supposed to be. You're like, could you stop? That really feels weird.
I was like, okay, nerve block. They're gonna inject my neck. Okay, this is weird. But then they're like, yeah, well, we have to tell you there is a risk of stroke and seizure. I'm like,
oh yeah,
fuck.
Yeah.
These people are gonna kill me before I ever get under the knife.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I lost my mind because I've never gone under surgery. I even called you and asked you. I was so nervous. I was like, dude, you've done this a few times, right? It's like, it's gonna be okay, and you're like, you should be fine, dude. I almost had a heart attack in the waiting room. Well, not in the waiting room, but that little room where they got you hooked up before he gives you, the sedatives at all. He's like, well, I'm gonna give you some stuff to calm you down. You seem real nervous.
Yeah. I did okay. The day before, but day of, I was just like, all right, just get through it. You've done this before. It'll be fine.
Right.
But yeah, they did give me some of the sedatives for the nerve block, so I wasn't moving around while they were shooting stuff into my neck, which helped.
Dude, I don't like talking about this. It brings back bad memories, man.
Has the eighth time I've gone under.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. I will. The one thing that made me feel better is I asked the anesthesiologist, however you say that. I asked him, because he could tell I was real nervous. He goes, "Why are you so nervous? Like, what's the reason?" I was like, because of all the horror stories of people waking up but not being able to move, And he goes, "Well, that is a thing that happens, but I can explain to you why it happens and why it won't happen to you this time. Like, I can guarantee it."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, why is that? Why does it happen, and why can you guarantee it for me?" And he goes, "The only reason they do that is they'll give you another chemical on top of the chemical that puts you to sleep that paralyzes you, so you can't move. So you'll stay extra still during the surgery, right?" Mm-hmm. Well, with my surgery, they didn't give me that paralyzing agent. And he goes, and if you did start to wake up, your body would automatically start reacting. You start moving. And he goes, I've done this before. I would know that you were waking up, and I would give you more chemicals, Because the only time that happens to somebody is when they wake up and they're under the paralyzing agent, and they're awake and they can't move to tell anybody they're awake. He goes, but if you woke up, you'd have the ability to move and tell us that you were awake. I was like, oh, okay. I felt better. But the nerves were still unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. He did, how they take your blood pressure and your heartbeat before. He's like, you're going to have to calm down or we're not going to be able to do this. And I was like, well, you got anything for that? Because I am freaking out, Yeah, they let my wife back there to hold my hand and stuff. It was
horrible. I didn't have that, sadly. But it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, out of the sling, thankfully.
Already?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as like I
Oh.
said, it wasn't as big as yours, and
And you got oxys? This
yeah,
is not a fair system. Not
uh,
a fair system.
I don't know. I mean, they
How bad
work
is it? Can you
okay,
use it?
huh?
How bad is it? Can you use it?
I can't lift it, not like that.
Got a gnarly scar? You want to see mine? You can't really.
Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Nah, mine was straight. Mine was scoped, so just the pinholes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
like I
No, they flayed me open like a fish. Had to put all those bones back together because I had taken like essentially like a like imagine if you took like a broom handle and just snapped it, it would have all the pieces,
mm-hmm.
and then it was sitting on top of it like this. So they had to like put all that back together
Oh,
and
that's
then put it.
rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they like
So
I can use it. It's not very weak, and like I just don't have a lot of range of motion right now. But I can
look
lift it
forward to some
kind of,
extra.
huh?
Yay. Yay. Look forward to some movement soon.
Yeah, and I start PT this week, and that's going to be so much fun and so painful. Oh, not looking forward to that.
Yeah. You have moments where you want to ask them I'll do what you're asking me as long as you'll promise me that it isn't going to break because it feels like it's about to break and you want
Yeah,
me to go another couple inches and they're like no, it's okay, keep going. And I'm
yeah,
like, no, I don't
definitely.
think you understand. And like if you could just I don't mind the pain, but you just need to explain to me. You just need me to I need to trust in the fact that you believe that it's okay to move it that far because the pain is at a point where it's like no, you shouldn't move it any farther. And then, I don't know. That stuff's hard, man.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it is. Not looking forward to it, but it is what it is, and get through it. It's what you got to do with the surgeries and stuff. So,
I got through a few more of the Dresden Files.
oh yeah, where you at?
Let's see what is you've got. Hang on, I'll go to right now. What am I listening to? I'm on chapter 10. I'm on chapter 9 of the Death Mask.
Oh, that's my favorite book.
Is it?
Yeah, it's.
I love the faith-based magic, and this one seems to have a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
I
Because you
enjoy
meet
it.
all the other Knights of the Cross.
Right, the katana wielding old man from Japan and the Russian,
Yeah,
the atheists.
the atheist who's right across.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny.
that's one of my favorites. You learn a lot about um, the mobster and the Denarians
Marconi.
are recurring characters for the entire series.
Cool.
Like they are back in the most recent book.
Awesome. I'm glad
Ooh,
he's still writing the books.
oh yeah. I think he's gonna do 6 more.
Damn, nice.
So he's got 3 more, and then he said he's going to do like an apocalyptic trilogy to end the series.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So
Scary.
they'll give him to about book 23 if he hits them all.
Nice.
So yeah, he's prolific, and because he writes other books too, besides the Dresden Files. Like he had this series, I think it was just a trilogy called the Codex Alera, and it's very like high fantasy kind of stuff. It will have like the reason he wrote it is he was at some kind of writing workshop and someone bet him he couldn't write a good book on a bad idea.
Okay.
Starting in he's like, I'll do you one better. I'll write a book with 2 bad ideas. Pokemon mixed with the Lost Legion of Rome.
Okay.
It's this like mystical land where people who like can control these furies, which are like element spirits. Or
That's
it's
funny.
I'm only like 10 chapters in, but it's pretty good.
Awesome.
But it's completely different, just completely different type of story. And
Right.
apparently, I think he's starting to write a steampunk
Oh,
uh,
fun.
book. And his wife, I think, is like leading like erotic literature, like romance novel, kind of like 50 Shades of Grey kind of
50
stuff.
Shades of Grey.
I think on that level, except
Did you
probably
see
better.
the Pornhub's like stats?
No,
on the release day after Shades of Grey,
no.
or for the release day for 50 Shades of Grey. Do you want to go over a few?
Sure.
Okay, here. Let me give me a second. I'll link the. Where's this at? It's safe for work, so no big deal. But anyway, I thought some of the more interesting ones. So just like overall general BDSM searches for women. Let's see. Where does it say?
Oh, it really shut up for women.
Yeah, it really shoots up for women, but if you go down a little bit, so if you go over like the terms, so like submission, BDSM, domination, flogging, chains, rope, dominatrix, stuff like that, it's up 55%. The day that it came out was submission, being submissive. BDSM was up 42%, dominate 40%, flogging 33%. And it's really funny if you get down a little bit further, it breaks it down by female versus male. Increases in BDSM searches by gender after the releases of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah,
Submission, women 219% increase. Dominate 196% increase. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. I read that sales for the gear had skyrocketed with the movie upcoming, and
the stories from some of the theaters, they have to be just fake. And just people cleaning up the theater talking, they found handcuffs and sex toys and used condoms, and it's just like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean,
I guess it's just an excuse, like a cultural excuse.
It basically is. It's just a cultural excuse.
It's a phenomenon. I've never read the book. I've never seen the movie. But I heard that somebody said it was so easy that they could write a computer program that could write 50 Shades of Grey. And so they did. And it's just this computer program that writes stuff that you can't hardly distinguish between paragraphs between 50 Shades of Grey or a computer. And I was like, I don't think I'll ever waste my time with that then.
Well, it started as a Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
For people who I know who have read both books, it's like, yeah, if you were just to change the names out, you couldn't tell that it wasn't 50 Shades, or if it wasn't Twilight.
Really, Twilight was pretty dirty, huh?
Well, it's just Twilight was apparently really simple too.
Oh, simple, right? That's the one thing I do not like about the Dresden Files is the sex scenes. They're like totally PG-13, and they go on for way too long.
They get better.
And I'm like, they're not necessary.
They're really not. And you can tell as it goes on, it becomes a more adult series.
Mm-hmm.
There's more cursing, more sex.
Really?
Yeah. I think he was still trying to find his niche, and probably understood that, hey, you know what, my audience is probably getting older since I've been writing these books for 5 or 6 years.
Right. That's cool. In the book they can change so far in the book only can a few of them mortals have changed shape, and they changed it in the wolves. But they get to keep like all of their humanity pretty much while they're wolves. If you could change into not just a wolf, but any animal for one day, and you get to keep you. So as smart as just you can't tell the difference intelligent wise. You just in the form of a whatever. What are you gonna choose?
Probably like an eagle or something, like some kind of big bird that can just fly around. And
I thought like a fly would be pretty cool, like something small, like a sparrow or something. I also thought to be a dolphin and to spend one day in just essentially in an alien world, a completely foreign world.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
It would be fun,
especially if you get special abilities where you get to translate. Like you can talk. If you're a crow, you could talk to other crows, or if you're a dolphin, you could talk to dolphins. Something like out of a Disney movie.
That'd be fun.
Now that would be really interesting. I don't know. Being a crow would be fun. Seeing what black magic those motherfuckers know. Those things are aliens. If anything on this planet's an alien, it's a crow. Those things are not normal. Did you know there's almost indistinguishable between each other? Like if we had 10 crows and I showed you one, and then I showed you 10 pictures of crows, you wouldn't be able to pick out which one it was?
That doesn't surprise me. That's true for a lot of animals.
Yeah. but it's true for all crows.
Hmm.
You could take all 1 million or billion of the population, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're all the same.
Wow. Huh.
Did you know there's also a species is the right word? Whatever. Of lizards that they are born pregnant, and they are genetic replicas of themselves.
Yeah, I've heard
And
about
there
that.
is no males in
Mhm.
the whole species. They're all just exactly the exact same. I thought that was crazy. I was like, wow, that can happen? That's so...
Yeah, there's a type of dog over in the UK that's been bred a specific way. In the entire whole of the United Kingdom, God, I don't remember which dog it is, but there's only 50 unique genetic dogs. There's thousands of them, or hundreds of thousands of them in the UK, but there's only 50 unique, genetically unique dogs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, in the Dresden Files,
Mm-hmm.
he uses summoning circles,
Right.
and he has to pay like a certain price. You have to put like 3 objects in the circle, or however they works.
Right.
Different spells, different people.
Mm-hmm.
But if I thought this is interesting, if somebody was going to summon you in a chalk circle, what's 3 objects they would have to put in it?
Jeez.
A good IPA,
A good IPA, some cash,
some cash, right?
and probably a cell phone or something.
Right, like a working Wi-Fi router.
Something.
Yeah, I would want like a nice nug of some high-grade marijuana. A working computer for video games. So like put like something that represents video games, right? Like a
Right.
mouse or something, And then what would be the third one? You got one for me? What would you put in the circle for me?
I mean, just for something
Yeah,
probably like a really nice yo-yo. I don't know if you still do that.
Oh
but
yeah,
that was-
no, I still own.
So
It's
you're.
actually, where are they?
That was always something near and dear to your heart growing up.
Yep, that would work. Yeah, that'd be something from my past anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. We do have some sad news. We are not going to Comic-Con this year. We were not able to get tickets. It's very sad.
That's because the demand on how many tickets were there and how many people were... It just
40
sold out before you even got a chance.
45 minutes. Completely sold out in 45
And you clicked refresh for 45 minutes.
Well, what they
kinda thing,
do
right?
is they put everyone into a virtual waiting room.
And you
and
hopefully
then
get lucky.
They're picked out randomly, which is really the fairest way to do it. But
It is.
yeah,
Damn it.
it opened at 9, and every single badge was sold by 9:45, or well, 9:45 Pacific.
So how much are on the secondary market?
Oh, you can't get them.
Well, everything has a price, but it's
Well,
just
everything has a price, but they
it's a ridiculous one, huh?
they will prosecute you for theft and ban you for life if they catch you for selling or buying secondary badges.
Oh,
Yeah, like it's a crime. It's a crime to sell and buy secondary badges.
yeah, under Comic-Con law.
Yeah. I mean, there have been people like you see it, like they have misdemeanor theft on their record because they bought a secondary badge. Because technically, that badge belongs to one person only. And to have it in any other form is a crime. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jacob.
So now we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do this summer instead of Comic-Con.
My brother got ticket. Huh? Keep going.
It sucks because I had to give up that sweet hotel. Or that sweet
Yeah, the one
apartment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, check back on the first podcast, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the guy didn't mind too much because, like I said, I got for steel, right?
Right.
Like I think he jacked the rates up to like $400 a night after, and it was booked within an hour of me letting it go.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah, my brother got tickets to Burning Man this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, $836, 2 tickets.
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's what, like a week.
it's 2 weeks or it's a week. I can't remember which, but yeah, you essentially you're paying taxes to live in a city.
Yeah, that seems
Hmm.
about right. But I mean, for a week, $800 isn't terrible.
Not for Burning Man.
Yeah.
In a utopian society where there is no money allowed, everybody just gives away stuff freely or trades or.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a really interesting experiment. I plan on going next year. I just am trying to buy a house at the moment, so $836 goes a long way towards a house.
Yeah, we're kind of in that process too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where you live?
Yeah, the house we're
Or are you going
living
to move back to
in.
Texas where your parents are?
No. I mean,
Damn.
it'll be here.
Come on, San Marcos would be awesome. You would live near a river. There's a college town. There's a team you can root for.
There's no jobs for me.
Well, get one.
It's a problem with having a highly kind of a specialized job. It's hard to find people who want to hire you.
Okay, yeah, I guess I could understand that. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things like because I'm a simulation engineer by trade, and on any given time there's like 5 openings in the entire country,
Hmm.
if that. So, yeah, the house we're in right now, we currently have a rent to own sort of agreement to where $500 of every rental payment knocks off $500 of the purchase price of the house, and we can purchase the house at any point in the next 2 years. And so we're kind of trying to decide if this is where we really want to stay, how much it's going to cost to get the house where we want to be, because it's kind of older and needs some work, or do we want to move to another part of Pittsburgh? So I don't know, it's all just kind of up in the air.
Well, you don't have to choose for how long. Another year, essentially, really.
Yeah.
I would give it at least 4 seasons, so you could see how the house is in the summer and the winter and spring and fall,
Yeah.
and what the traffic's like when there's no school, what the traffic's like when there is school. Stuff like that. There's a bunch of different factors that go into living into a house that you really can't tell until you've been there for probably at least a year.
Yeah, and that's probably that's what we're thinking. But we saving up for it.
Right. Yeah.
Moving across the country is expensive. Even though my
It has to
company
be.
helped paid for. I mean, they paid for a lot of it, but we went from a very very tiny apartment to a house.
Yeah.
And
3 bedroom, 2 bedroom.
3 bedroom, two
3 bedroom.
bath,
Nice.
full basement.
Nice. So we're turning that into the studio eventually, huh?
Eventually, yeah.
Right. We're gonna have those soundproof little wall things and stuff, and some neon signs
Yeah.
for some obscure IPA beer company. They've only made 12 barrels. I have their neon sign.
Eventually, if we stay here, we kind of want to put a little
Arcade.
apartment in the basement.
Arcade. That's all I heard. Arcade.
I have gotten permission to have at least one cabinet down there,
Awesome.
which it almost has to be Tekken 3. I mean, I mean, one arcade cabinet for me.
It's not Tekken Tag? I thought you were the Tekken Tag guy.
Oh, Tekken Tag and Tekken 3 are
Is it
basically
Tekken?
the same mechanics.
Which one is the one where everybody gave you a hard time about being a button masher with Eddie?
Tekken
When
3.
you weren't really, you actually had learned the combos with Eddie.
It's Tekken
So you were
3.
like, all right, I'm going to play the most difficult character to be good at. And you picked up King.
Yeah,
So your combo was King and Eddie.
yeah.
And you
Tekken
could do
Tag.
all the. Or what? I don't know how King could do it, but he had these grabs where he could grab you and then do something. And then in the middle, he could grab you again and he could just chain these things and he could just do all this ridiculous stuff. And he could stand backwards. And you got to the point where you were one of those guys at the mall.
Yeah.
Where you'd put your quarter in and you'd beat the game on one quarter, and then somebody'd come up and challenge you, and you would just crush them, and then you'd go back to playing the game, and then they'd put you'd crush them again, or you'd crush their buddy. It's just yeah.
There was a Tekken 3 cabinet at the community college where we used to work out in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there for some reason, and my wife had to do something. So I was like, well, shoot, I got 15 minutes. I threw in one quarter and beat it. And I
Yep.
played it in years. I just went through it. It was awesome. Took me a while. It wasn't my fastest run, but I
Right.
still beat it. But yeah, when I was at Oklahoma State, when I was doing my dual enrolling high school college stuff. I had an
Hmm.
hour in between classes, and in between these two classes was a student union. So I'd walk through student union, and there's this Tekken 3 cabinet, and I would play Tekken. It was a quarter, so I'd play Tekken for an hour in between classes. This other guy who I cannot remember his name now because it's been a while. He
Yeah.
also had the same kind of schedule, and so we would play Tekken 3 together. But he worked at an arcade in high school, so he knew
Mm,
everything. And so he
right.
would like, okay, well, if you do this and this and this is how you do this combo, this combo. We would play Tekken every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for an hour against each other. It's like one
That's
of those
awesome.
things where I always had like one of those $10 rolls of quarters in my backpack, just so I
Right,
could
right.
start playing Tekken.
Looking forward to it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's fun.
but
I did this. Go ahead.
if you had one cabinet, like you could only have one.
I have to do the Area 51 shooting game.
Oh yeah, that's such a classic.
I can beat that game. Well, I don't know if I could do it anymore, but I used to could beat the game with 50 cents. It was a 50 cents cabinet, 50-cent cabinet where I worked, and I could go all the way to the boss and beat it on the 4 lives that you get,
Wow.
which is almost unheard of for most people. They don't even recognize. And then we would take $5. That was all you were allowed to use because the game allows you to just keep putting in quarters. You can just
Right.
keep putting in quarters, and if you beat the game, it just starts over and it's harder. So you can just keep putting in quarters, and to set the high speed, or the not the high speed, the high score on the cabinet, we would just have one stack of 5 quarters. That's all you were allowed, or for $5, 5 stack, whatever.
Hmm.
And then we got the high score to the point where it was 9999999. So we'd max the game out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then your high score was whoever got ranked like first place had to have all nines, and then it was your shot streak. How many shots in a row did you have without missing? And first place was my buddy Eric. I had second place, but my first place was my buddy Eric. He had all nine and then 223 shots in a row without missing. Yeah, that's how much we played that game. Yeah, we could play the entire first level. We both could put in like $1, so you'd have both guns going,
Mm.
and you would use both hands, and the characters would come out, and you would shoot them within the frame, on both sides of the thing. Like you just knew you knew the pattern of where they were going to come out, and we could unlock all the secret levels on the first level. We could get all the special rooms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Nice. Yeah, I just sent you a link. You can read it later. I'll post it in the show notes. But I have a friend who became, I think it's the 8th person ever to do a perfect Pac-Man game.
Which is manipulating the code, right? The actual number generator.
Well, no, it's
By using the movements, the pattern properly,
well,
or what?
but
What is
it's
what's
clearing
perfect?
every level perfectly without dying and getting every power up, every dot, and then
Oh, and
eventually you get to
every
the kill
fruit
screen.
and
Yeah,
every fruit,
and
yeah.
every ghost.
And then the screen goes like half the screen
Mm-hmm,
goes
the
in weird,
kill screens.
yeah.
For those who don't know what a kill screen is, back in the day, there used to be not enough memory for arcade games, and they would be kill screens. So basically, they would start imprinting a level on a chip, and they wouldn't have enough memory. And this is kind of what it would look like. See all the code and stuff, and so yeah, that's a kill screen, which is the holy grail for the classic arcade games.
Do most classic arcade games have a kill screen?
I think so. Yes.
Really? So the idea is you just play it long enough and keep rolling it over until it finally.
Right. I think in Pac-Man, the kill screen is on level 256, 257, something like that.
Did you ever watch that documentary? That documentary of the King of Kong?
Oh, I love that one. It's
Yeah.
so good.
That would be this week's Ryan Recommends.
Oh, the King of Kong.
Yeah, go watch that. It's a documentary about this guy's quest to become the world record holder for Donkey Kong, which
Yes.
is considered one of the more difficult of the classic arcade games.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
definitely up. It's like it and Pac-Man are the two like holy grails for all-time scores.
Right.
Uh,
Even to this day, people still play for him.
okay, for my recommends, you should check out Eliza Schlesinger.
The comedian.
She's like, yeah. We just started watching her stand up. She's got two on Netflix.
She's
One's
funny.
one's called Freezing Hot and one's called War Paint. Have you seen her bit on the Party Goblin?
No.
She's like, you know, she's like, I have this problem. I have this party goblin. It lives in my head, and it stays asleep until it smells alcohol. It's like, ooh, vodka. And then it walks over to the microphone in my head and starts going, rage, rage, as the bartender for drugs. I'm like, oh, I still have a party goblin.
Yeah.
I have a bad party goblin.
That's funny. Yeah. Who would be like your top 3 comedians?
Oh, top 3 comedians.
Yeah, we can do all time.
Aziz Ansari.
Azari.
Yeah, he's from Parks and Rec. You would rec.
He's funny.
He's
He's
hilarious.
funny. He's got an interesting voice. It's very unique. Once you hear it and know that whose it is, you'll always recognize it.
Oh crap! I'm blanking on his name.
What is a joke? What's one of his?
Steve Wren. He's half Japanese, half Irish.
Oh,
No
awesome.
joke. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I bet that's funny as
Steve
shit.
Bryan, I think is what his name is. Steve. Yeah, Steve Bryan. Byron. Byrne. He's hilarious. He's got this thing on. He's got one of his things that's on Netflix. Like crying, laughing so hard.
What's your third?
Oh crap! I'm blanking on his name too. Here.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Give us yours, and
Okay.
I'll find his name.
So I enjoy Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I really enjoy his stand-up. I don't know if he'd make my top 3. Let's think about this for a second. Mitch Hedberg is probably my all-time favorite.
Adam Ferrara is my third.
Adam Ferrara, the guy that does the Attack of the Show?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh. Yeah, so it would be... I think it'd be Joe Rogan, Mitch Hedberg, and probably Ari Shaffir.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love stand-up is one of my all-time favorite things. It's just so hard to find good stand-up. Most of it's just terrible.
Well, the modern day, like the new scene, the last 2 or 3 years, things have gotten awesome in the stand-up. There's a lot of really good stand-up.
It's gotten a lot better,
It
especially
has.
now since the internet and
Yeah,
people
the
don't
internet.
have to like claw through the club scene to get to being famous.
Yeah, or funny. Yeah, the funny rises to the top much easier now.
Yeah. And now you also have shows like Last Comic Standing and the other like reality comedy shows, which are pretty good.
That and podcasting.
Yeah, podcasting.
Yeah, every comedian can have a podcast now, and if their podcasts are good, they'll generate a following, which turns up in ticket sales. Yeah.
I've only seen one of his stand-ups, but Donald Glover, he is absolutely hilarious. He's Troy in Community. I don't know if you ever watched Community or not. You
I
should.
didn't.
I think you'd really enjoy it. But he is absolutely hilarious. He's got this whole bit. He's like, if I had to choose between having kids or AIDS, I'm taking AIDS. I mean, if you think about it, they're pretty much the same. You can only date people that have them. Your life is pretty much over.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
he's fantastic. I much recommend. Oh man, so yeah, I think instead of Comic-Con this year, we're going to do a cruise. But-
Really?
Yeah, because we were looking at a lot of cruises go out of New York. Didn't know that, but they do.
To where?
Well, you can either go into like the Atlantic Caribbeans or like the Virgin Islands and stuff.
All the way down the coast?
Well, no, it's actually more out into the ocean, like in between here and Europe. You can also do like transcontinental cruises that go from here to Europe and back, which that'd be interesting.
That would be crazy.
But the one we're looking at is
Up into like Greenland or something?
yeah. Well, actually, we're looking at going up like New England and into Canada, like the Atlantic Canada. It's all in all, it's not that expensive. Like it's because it's like $1,300 for a week in a balcony room, so a nice room,
Yeah, nice.
in all the booze you can drink.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can put a pretty large dent at $1,300, especially
Especially
at bar prices.
At bar prices, right? Yeah.
So we're thinking about doing that. I kind of want to go the international, but my wife doesn't want to, so probably won't do that.
We compromise.
We compromise, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, she likes to play Dota, but I don't think she wants to go and watch the championships with me,
Oh, that would be awesome.
even though it's in Seattle.
Oh, I'd go with you there. I could smoke weed there.
Yeah.
What was the security officer's name on Deep Space Nine?
Oh, the Bajoran.
No, the shapeshifter.
Odo.
Odo. How do you spell Odo?
Odo?
It is Odio. Okay, Odio on compromise. Anyway, keep going. I think the Dota World Championships would be fun.
It would be fun.
Is there anything? Because that's in Seattle. That's up there near. God damn it. Wizards of the Coast, right? Is there? I wonder if there's any like cool tournaments going on for that.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
At the same time.
Yeah, and we will probably do New York Comic Con this year, because that's drivable if we can get tickets, which I think we will be able to. But like in terms of cons, it's San Diego and then New York, and then like Emerald City, but that just got bought. Like you're starting to see the consolidation of cons in the geek world. Like
In what way? Like the Comic Con and the like BlizzCon are going together now or something?
No, it's more like con companies are buying out other cons.
Oh, so instead of having the Northwest and the Northeast, you'll have just the North.
Well, that or it's like, one company will run Emerald City, New York.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Like the Pittsburgh Con just got bought out by Wizard World, which is sort of like a traveling circus of Comic-Con, which we'll probably go to when it comes to town because it's cheap and it's here, so might as well.
Cool. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's the founder of the Pittsburgh Comic-Con, I learned, has been convicted of murder twice.
Takes that fantasy stuff a little too seriously.
I know. No, so it'll be good, and we'll be able to go do more of the con stuff now since we play D&D regularly now.
Awesome. How's the rogue?
That's good. I've actually rolled a new character that I'm gonna replace him with.
Yeah, you found that the stealth was too separate from the party, or what?
Kind of, especially in what we're doing. Plus, I just wanted to do something different. Even though I do like the rogue. I mean,
the rogue's awesome, but you find that the powers of the rogue require you to leave the party most of the time. It's like, I got to be quiet, and you could use it for flanking during certain stuff, but it's not as
well. Most of our stuff, because of the campaign we're in, it's very outdoor related.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't really good for a rogue, because he's really good for the sneaky and the
robbing houses and finding. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I've rolled up a Dragonborn Paladin.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I've got breath weapon, and like basically I am the DPS guy. I just do all sorts of damage per second to our enemies.
Are you wearing plate?
Do what?
Do you wear plate armor?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so you're tough too.
And I'm tall and skinny. I'm like 6'7" and 215 pounds or something. So I'm a really skinny lizard.
You're a lizard?
I'm dragonborn, so I'm like part human, part dragon.
Hmm.
Or all
Yeah, I'd
dragon,
like to start.
I don't know.
No, I think you have the spirit of a dragon. I don't know how that works. I played that game, but I don't remember. It's like the greatest video game I've ever played that I didn't want to play through. I just found that the mountains were too much. Like playing Skyrim and not being able to go like in a straight line to where I wanted to go, but like having to use fast travel all the time. This game just sucked. Game just sucked.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Bethesda? Or did I tell you last podcast?
No, what?
They rented a press conference space. No, yes, press conference space at E3 this year. It's the first time they've done it.
Huh.
So they're announcing something big at E3.
Real big.
Mm-hmm. Fallout 4,
That would be a big one.
Fallout Online. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree. I haven't played a ton of Fallout, but it seems to me that like the single player story kind of stuff, even though it's very open world, is really and having the MMO dynamics would probably make it worse.
Yeah, it would ruin it. Yeah, having treadmills and stuff would suck. If you haven't played Fallout 3, do it.
It's on the list.
We'll put it at the top.
That's
like, what the fuck, man?
I don't know. I started to play it, and I got really into it, but then then I just quit playing it. I know.
Okay.
I need to get back into it.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I'll do with my new rig. You want to know what's something sad?
What?
I have a 4 terabyte hard drive. I've already filled half of it.
Yeah, I bought a terabyte hard drive and filled half of it in the day I got it.
Well, yeah. Mine's 4.
Yeah, so you're up to 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
But you have a media collection that rivals, I mean, you have a badass media collection. I don't have that.
Yeah, and I've also been ripping Blu-rays.
Mine is half a terabyte of video games.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell,
I have 76.
I
have 87 games on Steam.
Just with Assassin's Creed, that was like 70 gigs just by itself. Mm-hmm. I could tell when I installed the game, I could tell I was a little out of touch with current state games. Because I'm still like, yeah, big game, 12, 15 gigs. No.
I can't imagine what the Gran Turismo 5 is going to, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be. I bet it's going to be.
Wasn't Titanfall over 100?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that one was huge.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are huge. Yeah, I don't know. I could probably look and tell you what some of them are on mine. I wonder how that works. So I can see it. No big deal. Anyway.
Yeah, I've got way too many games on Steam as well that I'll just never gonna play.
What game or game series has left the longest and lasting impression on your life? Like, which one has made which one was the biggest deal to your life?
Ever?
It's your life. That kind of means ever.
Ever. Okay. Probably the King's Quest series.
Really?
Yeah.
So a game that you played before I even knew you.
Yeah. Because that's one of those games that really got me into games. It's like, oh, computer games are awesome. We should totally do more of this.
Okay.
X-Wing is a big one for me. I love that game.
Really? I thought it would be like the Tony Hawk series.
That's a big one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And there's obviously Mario and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! I love. It's one of my all-time favorites. That's one of the first Nintendo games I ever played. I think that was like the second Nintendo game I ever played was Tyson's Punch-Out!
You ever watch the speedruns of that?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
like
see the
18
guy who does it
minutes.
blindfolded.
No, what? No.
Yeah, there's a
That's
guy who can do it
awesome.
blindfolded and not get hit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
like the entire yeah, it's pretty crazy. Dota has had a huge impact on my life recently.
It has. Yeah.
Team Fortress 2. That's another game that
Really
means a
played that one,
lot.
huh?
Huh?
You really played that one, huh?
I played a lot of it.
Couldn't get
Hundreds,
into it.
hundreds of hours.
Could not get into it. Did not like the weaponry.
Oh, it's gotten a lot better.
I miss a gun. I want to be able to put the cursor on something and shoot it down, you know? And even the heavy did that kind of, but the gun had to spool up and it just wasn't, that's not what I wanted. I wanted an assault rifle. Like if they had like a Call of Duty character, that was just a shooter. That's all he did is he just had like an M16 and he, could shoot a little bit farther down the map. I would love that.
Yeah, we and Kelly played that a lot when we were dating. When she was in Stillwater and I was in Tulsa, we would just play and yeah,
Talk shit and stuff.
talk shit. Yeah, play with friends. God, I mean, really, if you want to talk about just impacts, like the old Star Wars games, just pretty much the whole lot of them.
Right, the Dark Knight, the
the Dark Forces games
Right.
were great. The X-wing TIE Fighter games were fantastic.
What was the Jedi one that we played?
Jedi Knight.
Jedi Knight, yeah. Where you ran around with the lightsaber and you had to fight the AT-AT and stuff. Yeah.
It was the first game I ever played online.
Wow. That was a long time ago
90s,
on dial-up and shit.
Late 90s, yeah. It was back when I first got figured out that people would ban you from servers because everyone would always go straight mix of powers. And for those who don't know, and you can get this game on Good Old Games, GOG.com, for almost nothing. Highly recommend playing it. If you went all light side or all dark side, you got a special power, like a light only power, dark only power. And a dark only power was basically death vision. Anything you looked at took damage and would die. So I would go dark only, and so there'd be 8 people on this server fighting, and I would just basically get in a sniper's nest and turn that on and kill everybody. They hated me for it.
Game design wasn't as balanced as it is now for multiplayer.
They're like, "Oh, that's so fucking cheap." I'm like, "You could do it too."
That's funny.
Uh,
Yeah. I think the longest lasting impact would have to be the Zelda.
oh, Zelda. Yeah.
Because that really defined me as who I am as a gamer. That really told me my favorite style of game is an open world puzzle, kind of an intelligence based adventure game, or not adventure like in the true sense of adventure game, but you're going on an adventure and there's different stories and different paths to get through the experience. That's really. But I'm a gamer. I've played them all. I love almost all games. I have thousands of hours of game. Where you're a TV file, you are a movie kind of aficionado. I'm a gamer. That's what I do. I sit right here in front of this and I play video games.
Yeah.
I recently got PvZ.
Plants vs.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah.
That is a life sync from hell.
Dude, it's what we do whenever we travel whenever we take a flight, we take the iPad and we swap levels.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And it's 2-hour flight gone. No big deal.
Yeah, because you're looking over, watching them, trying to see. Yeah. That's fun.
And what we do is, do you have the time one, Journey Through Time or whatever it's called? Is that the one you have?
No, I have PvZ.
Okay, so I have
the first one.
I have the second one, and they have these endless zones that build on top of each other. And you pull a card, and you get to choose which power you want, which plant you want for the next level, and they build, and your lawnmowers continue. So we'll just start one of those and see how far we can get.
That's awesome. That would be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, have you played Peggle?
That's the Jewel game, right?
It's the one where it's like Plinko. Remember the old Price is Right game where the thing bounces around? It's kind of like Plinko.
Okay, no, I haven't played. Is it fun?
God,
It's addicting.
it's super addicting. Like it's one of those things where you're like, what time is it? Have I been playing all night?
Let's turn up, and it turns out you got an hour before work. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. And I don't like it since they've gone, because the first Peggle that I played was like an actual game. You know, it was you paid the price and that was it. And now they've gone to that free to play model, which sucks. But like it can be done well. I've seen it done very, very well.
Yeah, like League of Legends or Dota.
Well, that, or I'm just thinking more mobile.
Like League of Legends did it perfectly.
But you have to buy heroes in League of Legends.
You don't have to buy heroes.
You can earn.
All of the heroes. You can buy them through the points you earn through playing through the game, but they also rotate heroes every week. So if you're patient, your hero will rotate around.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing, there's no pay to win.
Right.
I hate mobile play to win.
That's why I like Dota is every hero is there from the word go. They don't rotate; they're just all there from day one. You can pick from any of the 100 and however many.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
yeah, I see you playing on Steam all the time. It makes me want to start playing just so I have because gaming with a friend is one of the greatest experiences in the world. And it's like, man, I don't even like Dota, but I might start playing it just so I can play with Jake.
Well, once you get the hang of it, like I didn't like Dota when I first started playing either. But like the more you learn,
right?
Because it's really like playing a sport. Part of it's learning. You got to learn the rules of the game. You know,
right?
You got to learn
the positions that need to be filled and how to fill them.
The map. Learning the map is important because
right.
I mean that's the first probably 10, 15 games. You're just trying to figure out where the hell everything is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ever want to play, we can get in like a bot match and I can kind of walk you through everything.
Oh, I have probably 100 hours in League. Like I understand the basic concepts of the game. It wouldn't take me too long to figure out the map. I've watched a lot on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because I may not enjoy the game, but it's one of the few games that's big enough to have broadcasting. And I don't mean like it's broadcast on Twitch. There's lots of games broadcast on Twitch. But I mean, it might have like 2 or 3 different commentators, or 2 commentators and an interview person, and it has, they'll have graphics breaking down the brackets of a tournament and stuff. And I just enjoy that production value in video games because I enjoy video games so much. So it's like, I finally get to watch. Huge. I finally get to watch my version of the NFL or whatever because it's a video game that's being professionally broadcast, which I enjoy.
Yeah,
so I've watched it quite a bit.
You should check out the Dota Asian Championships for Dota. They're all on YouTube. And an American team won. I was like, yay, Americans winning esports.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that one.
Fear won, like Fear's team won, which is kind of a big deal because a lot of people consider him too old to play.
What, 25?
27.
27, yeah.
Well, it's crazy because one of their guys couldn't play, so they pulled out this what do they call him, a pub league, like a public league, like superstar. His name is Sumail is his name, and he just crushed. He's 15 years old and just sitting there like crushing fuckers.
That's awesome.
And you can tell he's like not refined at all. Like he's one of those people who's just got
brute talent.
Yeah. He's super strong. He's like a boxer that he's like Mike Tyson. He crushes people but has no skill. He just
don't say that. Don't say that. You can't say that about Mike Tyson. If you haven't gone back and watched Mike Tyson's videos anytime recently, now that you're an adult, don't say that. That guy might have been the best boxer ever.
He might.
And I'm talking about when it comes to footwork, head movement, combos, strength, stamina, ferociousness, he would have crushed Muhammad Ali most likely. He had a flying leap that knocked people out. That was like an 8-foot-long flying leap. It came out of nowhere. But anyway, it's more like somebody that has I can't think of anybody that has the raw talents that just doesn't actually end up going through with it. Like a Tracy McGrady, like a T-Mac. Like he could have been like one of the best basketball players ever if he really wanted to.
Well, a lot of his stuff was injuries. He had microfractures in his ankles.
Oh well, I'm not okay. I'm speaking out of school, I guess, but
Uh,
that kind of thing. Just lots of raw talent that doesn't
hmm.
have enough. But that's not even. It's
But
not. It's
you
just
know,
refinement. Yeah, he still might still have the drive to be one of the greatest ever.
right? But he just
Already
won
won the
600.
championship.
Like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
share of first place was $600,000.
That's awesome. That's
So
awesome. What's up?
the last year's international TI4 first prize was just under 5 million. So there's a total like a 10, $11 million prize pool.
That's awesome. What's up?
So
Yeah.
like what they do is how they kind of build prize pools is they sell what they call compendiums, and it's they sell it to people um, in the game, and it's generally it's special items. Um,
Not more powerful, but just
no,
cooler
no,
looking.
no, just cool looking. Like I just bought the Join Dota Major League Gaming compendium because it had a set for a character I really liked.
Awesome.
I really like.
Like costume and stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
there are
Right.
no power ups in Dota. There's a shit ton of costumes, but there's no like extra powers.
Yeah, you don't buy any faster cooldowns, or you don't buy
Right.
any
Yeah.
more,
Character's gonna
stage
play
2.
the same way.
The same spells, everybody's
Mhm.
gonna get them. Same cooldowns.
Right. And they also have like special replays and stuff, so you can like watch the game. Like you can actually like go in because like I don't
You
know if
can.
you know, but you can anytime I'm on Steam and you want to watch me, you can watch me play Dota through the client.
Okay, I'll have to figure that out.
No, like
We'll figure that out.
we're friends on we're friends on Steam. Just pull up
We are.
Dota and you'll see my name. Just right click on and say watch game, and it'll pull up my game.
Do I even have Dota downloaded? Do you have to download Dota?
Yes.
Okay.
And so
All right. Well, I'll download it right now since we're. Well, I won't do it right now since we're doing the podcast.
yeah.
But I'll queue it up and get it ready. But anyway,
So,
I'll absolutely do that. You'll probably get me to start playing with you soon.
so I'm guessing that like we might see 12 because Dota's grown in popularity a lot since last year. They
12 million.
$12 million. Yeah, I bet
It'll be
you.
larger than that this year if last year's was 11.
I don't know. Like they hit 1 million concurrent users in Dota this month.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I love esports. That's one of the things I watch. Like right now, the what is it called? Epic Winner or whatever it is on Twitch TV. They're doing the like Tekken and Street Fighter and all those different whatever they're called. Those kind of what are those called? I guess they're just called fighting games.
Yeah, like the fighting games.
Right. So they're doing the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Smash Brothers, and they're doing all that, but it's being broadcast like professionally, where it has a
Hmm.
double elimination bracket system, and that's on graphics where you can see it between rounds, and they've got two commentators telling you what's going on and what moves happened. Because it's not much fun to watch something like that if you can't tell what's going on, because it just looks like a bunch of kicks and moves. But when you have somebody going, oh, he got him with the
Right.
takedown and the stuff, and there's the advanced guard. I wonder if he's going to get the combo, the air combo here, and that I enjoy that. Yeah, it's real fun.
Yeah, just be careful with Dota because it's a pretty deep rabbit hole. It's a really deep rabbit hole.
This is what I do. I have no fears of rabbit holes when it comes to gaming. I've done them all. I've played Minecraft and I've played Candy Crush, and yeah, I've played the endless ones, the ones that they have no end. You're talking to a surviving World of Warcraft player.
Yeah, that's.
I got the healed track marks and everything.
Yeah, that's definitely caused some damage to a lot of people I know. I've lost friends to WoW. Like they start playing, I just never see them again.
You never hear from them. Yeah, you don't talk to them. They're not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just sad.
You know how we have gamer tags?
Uh.
You know what? Everybody knows what a gamer tag is. Like Kill a Lot 42 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If they've always existed, what would be some of the great ones from history?
Probably
I thought one.
like Greg or like someone's first name who was like
Like
one of the
Bob
top
first.
10 people.
Like covet thy ass. Illuminati. Like naughty. Illuminati. Eat cake. Potato Hunter. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, there
Redskin
was
Slayer. That's horrible.
back in my online poker days. There was a guy who was like one of the first players on Party Poker or Poker Stars that his username was his first name. Like he was like one of the first like 50, 100 people on the site or something like that.
Did you ever hear about that story? I can't remember the actual number or letter it was, but there was a single letter account on Twitter. So you know how there's only 26 of those, like ABC, you know, and one of them was N. It was a very rare. Like, what are they called? Twitter handles.
Yeah.
So it was just at N, and it was stolen, and it was valued over 50 grand. Here, I'll show you, and I'll show you the article, be in the show notes, or whatever. But you can read it, and it explains how the hackers actually got the account. Because the guy who has the account is a very smart technology guy,
Right.
and they've been trying to hack it since like 2007 or whatever. And the hackers that have been going after it are really high level hackers. You know, that's a very special thing to have. And they ended up hacking Comcast, I think. I can't remember exactly what it was. And locking the account. And doing some really fancy stuff through phishing with Comcast, you know, talking through customer service.
Right.
They did some really fancy stuff with one of his other websites. Or one of his emails on one of those websites. And it was like, look, you need control of this to run your business. All we want is control of N for an hour. You know, you give us the password and all the information for N, and we'll give you all your information for your, you know, Xfinity Comcast account or whatever. So, yeah, he lost it. 50 grand. They stole his account.
Wow. Part of me is really impressed with that. Part of me is like, why?
Yeah. Yep. That's just one of those oddities of humanity that's fun to... It exists, but it has no effect on me. Nor do I care.
I was watching this documentary special on hacking. I don't remember. This one like high-profile hacker. He was like, you know, most hackers will tell you that they're doing it to fight this or protest that, but don't let them lie to you. It's really fun, and they're doing it because it's really, really fun.
Yeah, that's why they do it. They're hackers. It's who they are. They would hack anything, even if computers didn't exist. There's still those kind of people that are modifying and changing things and trying to make things work better or trying to manipulate the way things work, you know. The first hackers didn't even have computers.
Nope.
The first hackers were on phones. You know, they were manipulating the phone systems.
Mitnick and Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, yeah. And like Wozniak and Jobs and Gates, they were all hackers too.
Yep.
They were part of the Blue Box project. They called the Pope up at the Vatican.
You know, like those are two funny people, like Jobs and
Wozniak?
No, not Wozniak. Gates. Like when they were like when Jobs was alive, he was a saint. He was the second coming of the Messiah. But now that like he's died and all the biographies are come out, most people think he's like a total douchebag.
Right.
And Bill Gates is like, yeah, I'm just going to give like $4 billion to charity. No big deal. Like it's just flipping how people are starting to view him versus Jobs. And
yeah, Gates is he runs, if y'all didn't know that Bill Gates is the name or the money behind the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which most people don't ever put those together. But the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is most of the reasons why is the reason that most cities have public radio. It's the reason that, malaria, however you say that disease in Africa that's such a big deal in South America and stuff with the mosquitoes, that's killed half of all people who have ever existed. So the entire population of human beings, half of them have been killed by the malaria disease. And he's one of the few people that's like really spent real money trying to solve that problem on a global scale.
Mhm.
When he dies and all of the biographies come out about him, yeah, he's going to be one of those captains of industry that actually have a good reputation.
Yeah, he just has that one unfortunate quote about the internet.
What did he say about the internet?
He was like, it was back in like '94, early. He's like, yeah, I just don't see it being that big of a deal.
Ooh.
Yeah, just one of those things. Which back in '94, I can understand it. The internet was terrible back in '94.
Yeah, that's funny.
But no, it was one of the things like, no one knew that people were going to start streaming movies and living their entire lives on the internet.
That would change us completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely changes. Like, I don't know if I've seen a bigger generational gap between anyone than like me and someone 7 years younger than me. Because one of the biggest gaps I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially 10 years.
Oh, yeah. If you take somebody... So well, really, if you took somebody that was like 33, 32 years old and compared them to a 21-year-old, like a 31-year-old versus a 21-year-old, oh my God. The difference is unbelievable. Because if you were just a year or two older than us, you were just a little too old to really get into computers unless you were a real nerd. Because we only got into computers because we were nerds. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't all of the 13 and 14 and 12-year-olds like us were into them. It was just us nerds. So if you were already 14 or 15 and had a car before the computers and internet came out and started to become a big deal, you have no hope of being part of the generation that had it.
Right.
You have no hope. Completely.
It's like, because I was in college when Facebook came out, and someone 10 years younger than me, they were 9 or 8. Yeah, I was on this project at work, and something came up, and one of the guys, he's a co-op, he's an intern, he's like 20, 21. He was like, yeah, I remember Googling that when I was like 9. I'm just like, the hell? There was no internet when I was 9.
At 9 years old, my computer couldn't even produce speech. I had programs that wanted it to, but I didn't have a sound card that could handle it.
Have the sound card, yeah. I remember not having a sound card.
It would just come out, sound like a Snoopy character or something, like an adult from Snoopy's. Wah, 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 wah.
I was 8 when we got our first CD drive. External, like plugged into like the serial port, like the big port in the back of a computer.
And your dad was a computer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We, our first 2 games was the original Civilization. That's another game that's had a huge impact on me.
It had a big impact on me. You showed me that game when we were children. We were young.
And this game called Mantis, which has this terrible, like, full motion video cutscenes. Remember when that was a thing where, like, all the cutscenes were FMV, just terribly acted?
I do.
Like, going back and watching some of them, like, I'm pretty sure they just got these people straight from the porn studio. Like, that's the quality of acting for most of those things.
Yeah, it's like they hired extras. They hired extras for acting jobs, yeah. Red Alert had some actually pretty good ones, though.
Some of them.
Remember the ones on Red Alert? Some of those were fun, yeah.
Yeah, Red Alert. Those games, the Command and Conquer series, I love.
Command and Conquer.
But see, it was weird. Like, not on purpose, but I was always, because there was always sort of competing like 2 large studios or games in a given genre for games.
Mm-hmm.
Like in RTSs, it was Command and Conquer and Warcraft back before it was an MMO, which I don't know. Some people may or may not remember the days when Warcraft was an RTS and not an MMO.
That's the game that me and you and Gregory Nikolaev? What the fuck? I remembered his name. We went over and played at his house. We played that, and he had 2 computers, and he had 2 of the games, and y'all played against each other.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that y'all showed me is that if you clicked on one of the Warcraft characters enough, one of the ogres, he would go, "Stop tickling me." If you just sat there and kept clicking, yeah, he'd ask you, "What do you want?" You know, stuff like that. Yeah.
But I always ended up on like the less popular side. Because like in the
Right.
adventure games, I always like the Sierra games over the LucasArts games, even though they're both great. More people, more people more fondly remember the LucasArts over the Sierra.
Oh, not me. Not me. Sierra games, man. I love these Sierra
I did
games.
too. They had better writing, in my opinion.
They had were they also the creators? Oh, Maxis created The Sims.
Oh yes.
I love the whole Sims universe. Simcopter. Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah, Simcopter.
It's a
Because you
great
could
game.
put it. It was one of the first games that like you could build your own city in like was it 2000?
Yes, and you could move the save
Mm-hmm.
file onto the Simcopter, and somehow that you could fly through that world. I do remember that shit. Oh man, they really need to redo Simcopter. Bring back
Uh,
Simcopter.
the old Sim games are awesome.
Yeah, they
Which
all.
those have some funny stories. Because what's his name? Will Wright, I think his
Yeah, Will
name.
Wright.
Like he was building another game and realized he was having more fun building the land and the buildings than he was the rest of the game.
Right.
So
So he
he
made SimCity.
right
Really SimCity.
in The Sims, because as after EA had bought Maxis, they
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to do The Sims, and he had just rolled out. I think it was SimCity 4, one of the big Sim cities. And he said, "You're gonna make this game because you owe me. And if you want another SimCity game, you're gonna make this game." So
Went on
like,
to
all
be one of
right,
the
we'll
most
make.
popular video games ever
Well, I think at one point it in one of its expansion packs was the two best-selling video games of all time.
of all time.
I don't know how that differs now that there's mobile.
Oh yeah, who knows? I know Candy Crush has made the most money.
Oh,
Um, I really wish I could find Sim Tower.
my mom both.
You can't even just buy it and play it. Like it's so difficult to find those old Maxis games.
It is hard to find some of them. I wonder if they're on
Like I want
GOG.
Simcopter. Like I got a computer now that can handle it. I didn't have a computer back in the day that could handle Simcopter. I could have view distances for miles nowadays, and I just can't find it. I would love to have that game.
Now, if you can find it, and you just want, if you want a game that's going to suck your life for like 2 weeks and then just stop, you need to find the movies.
Oh yeah, okay. You've actually
Uh,
recommended this before, so it must be actually good. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll send you the link. It's sort of it's a sandbox. It's kind of like any of those kind of games, like Roller Coaster Tycoon or Sim City, but you're building a movie studio. You have to hire actors and make sure
Is it
they're
on
happy.
Steam?
I don't think so. I know
Hmm.
you can get it different places. I think I actually still have the discs for it. But like eventually, like depending on how you work your actors, they'll develop drinking or drug problems. You have to send them to rehab, and then if they get too tired, you have to send them to plastic surgery so that people still think they're pretty. And it starts you at like the beginning of movies, like before, back when they were moving pictures and before they were actually like movies, and then you go through time, and it's really fun.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds cool. I
But it's
might
one of
try it
those
out.
games that like if I install it, it's gonna like I'm not going to stop playing it for about 12 hours. But after that, it's okay. uh, I remember the first time I installed because one of my friends had suggested it, so I picked it up and I had like it was one of those Friday nights where you just had nothing to do. So I
Mhm.
installed it 6, 7 o'clock. And literally the next thing I knew was 4 in the morning. I'm like, shit. Well, at least I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow. But it's just one of those games. But the thing is, like after that first like life suck, it's not so bad. Like it kind of like it's not so bad. But like the first 12 to 48 hours are very very addicting.
Yeah, I can't think. I was trying to think of a game like that where it's where it just wants your soul for like just a day, just
Just
one
to,
day, but it wants the whole thing for a day. I was trying to think of a game. I can't come up with one. Most of my
that's how I feel like Civilizations is. Like it just wants your soul for a couple of days.
oh yeah,
Or do
that
you
is
remember
true.
like the old like Masters of Orion game?
No.
Oh, it was sort of a resource management game like Civ is. It was really good. Yeah, I picked that up on GOG. It's another one of those games that made me feel really stupid because it used to
One.
be one of those like it used to when I first time I played it. You don't read anything. You just jump in the game and start playing. Yeah, I couldn't figure it
Mm-hmm.
out.
Good.
I was like, and it's one of those games I used to crush. And if you want a really sort of light, and you can get this one on Steam, get Sid Meier's Pirates.
Okay. I've
Uh,
heard a lot of people recommend that one. Yeah, I'll try it.
it's one of those games that it's really fun, but it doesn't take a ton of brain power.
Oh,
Like,
it's just a good kind of mindless kill some
yeah,
time game.
you know,
Fun.
it's got some fun mini games like having to woo the governor's daughters by dancing with them and taking them to the balls and sword fighting. They're bad suitors. And you sail around the Caribbean, taking over ships, and eventually, because every once in a while, if I get really bored, I'll just like build up this giant crew, like 700 pirates, and then go take over cities.
Awesome. Yeah, hell yeah. I like games like that that let you do non-main storyline stuff, but still really explore it for a long, way.
Oh yeah, I play that game for hours and never touch the storyline.
Yeah.
Just sailing around, having fun, finding
Yeah.
buried treasure.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
but it's one of
Absolutely.
those games that's really good to like throw on a movie and play.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy, I would highly recommend that one.
Fuck yeah. My kind of game.
Some
I
other
got a
game.
fun.
I'm just
Uh-huh.
trying to think of like other games I would just like super recommend people playing.
Oh, I got a bunch of those.
Limbo, highly recommend Limbo. That's a great
Really?
platformer. I think it's really good, especially for the money. It's super cheap now.
Mm-hmm. If you enjoy storylines, so you're like kind of playing a movie,
Hmm.
BioShock Infinite.
Oh, Infinite's fantastic. All the BioShock games are fantastic.
1 and Infinite are the best, but Infinite is by far the best.
Yeah, I played
Um,
that quite a bit.
I think the best video game ever made is Fallout 3. And if
Oh
you
yeah,
haven't played that, I highly recommend you give that a playthrough.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard Fallout 3 a lot. Um,
I'm trying to like give you just my pure gold ones.
if you like platformers, I mean, granted, this were cliche because they were an indie game, but Super Meat Boy and Fez are both fantastic.
Fez, I wouldn't recommend the Super Meat Boy unless you like
Really, really hard.
really difficult platforming like games. Yeah. Um, if you enjoy, I don't even know what you would call it, but like the Plague game where you design, I guess I don't even know what you call it. It's like a simulation, but you have the whole world in front of you, and you get to start off this disease, and you get to slowly evolve it. And as you do, you pick up DNA points, and you use those points to change the direction it evolves, so it can be transmitted by birds, or you can unlock being transported by coughing or by rats,
Hmm.
and you try to kill the whole population of the Earth. That game is awesome. That game is a lot of
That
fun.
sound interesting.
That is a great game.
Democracy 3 is really good. I really enjoyed
Okay.
that. It's sort of like a spreadsheet game, but it does give a good feel for sort of how different things can affect a governmental system.
The greatest pixel art game I've ever played,
Hmm.
and it's probably top 5 of the greatest games I've ever played, was Terraria.
Oh yeah, I have that. I think.
Do you really? Have you played it at all a little bit or no?
No, not really.
Oh, we have to play that on. Me and you have to play that a little bit, dude.
Okay.
That is, we had. Oh man, I'll start a new character with you, and you start a new character. We'll start a new world, and we try to beat the. Well, I don't even know what the final mission is now, but like that'll be the goal of the series.
Okay. Beat
Okay.
Terraria.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
We have a goal.
That'll be awesome. Look forward to that. That's
Ladies
gonna be
and
great.
gentlemen, it is
Yeah.
happening.
It is. That's gonna be great.
Oh, so, like, I haven't been able to do a whole lot because of my shoulder this week. So, on my 60-inch television, I was playing Sega Genesis games this week because I could hold the controller, even in like the sling, I could hold the controller. So I was playing Road Rash 2.
Road Rash. I forgot about that game.
It's still awesome.
Bring that game back. We need a new version of Road Rash. That was such an awesome
Get the
game. So
chain,
the basic,
like whipping the guy beside you.
right. So the basic principle of that game is you're racing. What do they call that style?
Superbike.
Yeah, you're racing super bikes, but you're racing across the country.
Cross country racing.
Yeah, no, cannonball run style.
Okay.
So it's illegal racing from point A to point B, not in a circle, but you're trying to get from city 1 to city 2. And it's you and a bunch of other street bikes and choppers. And is there dirt bikes in it?
Not in 2. I don't know about the later ones.
Right. So there's just these different types of motorcycles, and you're all hauling ass, and then there's traffic, so you're having to drive around cars. And when you get close enough to each other, you can either push the punch or the kick button and the direction the guy is. And if he happens to have a weapon and he hits you at the same time that you hit him, you can grab his weapon from him. So you can get like chains and clubs and shit, and you're beating the fuck out of people off their bikes and they fall off. And that game is a blast. And you get, if you win races, you collect money and buy
you buy
faster
your
bikes
bikes,
and
yeah.
buy weapons. And yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, what's funny is that game has like no preamble. It's just like you hit the button and it takes you to the start race. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Start race, bike shop, something else. That's it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the old version of game design. The real clean, real sharp, real.
Well, they had such limited space.
Yeah, they didn't have to put in a lot of fluff. They just made great games and you played them and you enjoyed them. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of went on a rampage.
There's another great game, Rampage.
I acquired 700 SNES games, like 500 NES games, and several hundred N64 games.
What emulator are you using to run on?
Different ones.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could put that N64 file in something that would allow me to have access to it.
Yeah, I could do that.
And if you have the emulator already downloaded and you can just send that file to me, I need that.
Okay. Well,
because
or just
I
Google
tried.
it.
I did. The people that own the Project N64, which is the one you want to use, the one that can run the most games, it's gone behind like adware stuff.
Oh, you just got to find the right download for it. But yeah, I can get it. I can get it to you.
Well, hook a brother up.
What's nice is Kodi, the media center thing I use.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a program that you can install. It's a third-party program that will. You link it to the emulator, and then it'll scan like the database you tell it for the games.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can just do it from inside the media center. Open it up, and it's cool because it'll download like all the art and the description of the game and everything. You just click on it, and it launches your emulator. And so you can just start playing. And when you close it, it brings the media center back up.
Slick.
Yeah, so it's been one of my projects is getting that up and running.
Slick.
Well, we didn't even talk about console games. You gotta recommend 1080, the great destroyer of controllers.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Trying to pull the 1080 on 1080 was, and then the one that came after it, because of that snowboard game, you got SSX or whatever it was called,
I remember SSX.
which was the more like extreme version of Tricks, and that was a great game too. That was a great game. Yeah.
Have you watched snowboarding recently, like on TV?
Mm-mm.
Dude, like some of the stuff they're doing, like even the video games are like, no, that's too extreme.
That's too
Like
much.
double McTwist 1440s and shit. They're doing crazy. I always loved Amp. Like it was sort of a stupid game, but like Amp for the Xbox, love that thing.
Amped.
Yeah, it was a
Amped.
snowboarding game.
I didn't play that
Oh,
one.
it's so good. If you can find a copy of it, pick it up. It's
Good, huh?
so much fun. It's a silly one, you know. I mean,
Hmm.
you're just doing tricks and you know
Yeah,
like
that's my favorite, where they launches you off the half the mountain and you get like 30 seconds to do the trick. Yeah, and you get
yeah.
to just keep modifying and flipping, and you got to the last second you try to land it, and when you do succeed, it's the greatest feeling. Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
like and there was like, especially after Tony Hawk, there was a rash of like every extreme sport got a game. Like there was like the Dave Mira game, which was
The bike
actually
game.
yeah, which was a ton of fun.
Great
But
game. That was a blast. Absolutely. Um the skate genre, like, or not genre, but skate
skate.
series. So you
Hmm.
had Skate, Skate 2 and Skate 3. Those were really great skate, like almost like skateboard simulation games.
Yeah.
Because they were real life. You know, you could only ollie maybe 3 or 4 feet in the game, maybe 5 at the most. And there's people who can do that in real life, so it wasn't too unbelievable. So that was fun. I do wish they would bring back a Tony Hawk like game though, where it's you press X to go faster. You just hold it down and you'll go, max speed. You don't have to try to time the A button. You just hold X to go max speed. And then when you jump, like square is kickflip, and holding a different direction modifies the kickflip.
Hmm.
You know, just that real simple, basic version of skate games. Or bring back Thrasher,
Oh yeah.
which you held the buttons down in a certain way, and your guy loaded up the trick, and then you would do it. I'd love that game too.
Oh, that game was so fun.
That was a great game. It had the best soundtrack.
It did have a great soundtrack.
Had the best soundtrack. All old school rap.
Yo hip hop hip.
Hmm.
I can't do too much to that or I'll get sued.
We won't get sued. We'll just get taken off of YouTube.
Okay, so the great debate: SNES or Genesis?
I'm a Nintendo boy.
Mm,
You're Genesis, aren't you?
I love the Genesis.
Super NES is where it's at, man. That might be the greatest gaming system ever made. Unless you wanted to argue with me that the N64 was better.
I would argue the N64. I love the N64. Probably my favorite console.
Yeah, I
I
won't.
love the N64. But I
Yeah,
never
that's why we were
played
talking
the
about you
SNES a lot. That's the problem. Because like all my friends had Genesis.
Well, it's weird you lived in that circle. All my friends had Super NES. I
I
only
know
had one friend with
everybody's.
a Genesis, and they were the weird people.
I have a book that I have an audiobook you probably like. It's called Console Wars, and it's written by the guy who wrote the book that Moneyball and Social Network were based off of, the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's written in sort of that dramatic style, I guess. But it's all about the president of Sega North America during the console wars between Sega and Nintendo with the Genesis. It's really good. Hey,
Okay.
did you know that the original PlayStation was going to be a joint
And
venture between Sony and Nintendo?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. And they released it. They announced it, and then like 2 weeks later, they announced the cancellation of the project.
Right.
And then like a month later, Sony, and Nintendo said that they were doing their own projects. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Which was a mistake.
which was a mistake.
I mean, you want to talk about a company that's fallen in hard times? That's well, it's actually both of them, Sony and Nintendo. Because Sony just sold their audio video.
I think Nintendo's one of the most wealthy Japanese companies.
Oh no! Oh no! No, they've been hemorrhaging money the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I think they have a lot to hemorrhage.
They might have a lot to hemorrhage, but they're losing money like crazy, like hundreds of million a quarter, kind of losing money.
Yeah, that may be true, but I think they have like enough to lose. I can't remember though. That's what I heard. Let's see. It's not that important anyway. If they're making money or not, I hope they stay around. I love Nintendo. I just wish they'd bring give us a real gaming console. Give us
Yeah.
the N64 too, or the N128. Like whatever it is, give us that. Because I miss Mario like platforming, like it's meant to be.
Like, I understand why they don't do it and the reasonings behind it, but honestly, if they really wanted to make just some serious money, just put your games on the like XBLA arcade. Like, how quickly, if you could like $20 to buy every Mario from 1 to 64, how quickly do you spend that $20?
However long it takes me to push the buttons.
Exactly.
Like literally, I would just.
Or okay, would you spend let's say $100 on this? Every Mario, every Zelda, every Metroid, from NES to N64 through N64.
Yeah, I do it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't take too long. It was like about 5 seconds of thinking.
No, I was thinking whether I wanted if I wanted the
Metroids
or the Mega Mans.
Oh, Mega Man. Oh, I love Mega Man.
I was thinking if you threw the Mega Man, it was in too much. So I was trying to. I didn't want to say that. I was thinking in my head, I was like, well, if we had Mega Man for sure, but if you throw the Mega Man, it's probably worth 120 or 150 because it's all the great, So,
One of my great gaming accomplishments is I've beaten Mega Man 2.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I haven't done that.
I loved Mega Man back in the day.
First video game I ever beat was Star Fox. On Super NES. The one with the FX chip. Remember, it's just like flying polygons through the. Yeah, it was triangles.
And it was the coolest thing we had ever seen. And I remember seeing Star Fox for the first time. You're like, holy shit, these graphics are amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, on Super NES. Yeah. That's fun. That's a long time ago.
I remember, there's certain like video game memories. Like I remember getting our first 486 processor.
This is the first computer that I know what any of the components in it are that I have.
Okay, do you remember Pentium? Do you remember when Pentium just came out? The 486 was the processor before the Pentium.
Wow.
Like I remember going from 386 to 486 and just how much faster. And I remember how much faster some of our games ran when my dad installed the 4 extra megs of RAM. 4 megs, not gigs, megs of RAM.
Do you remember when you finally had upgraded to, we were playing Red Alert on it. So whatever system was playing Red Alert. It wasn't it wasn't the fastest computers, but it could handle Red Alert and Civilizations, and it'd play those kind of games.
Right.
That you had games that we would try to play on it that the computer was too fast for because they had been programmed to be a certain speed.
To use a clock speed, yeah. That was
and they couldn't run it because it would just be so fast. The game would be like, it would just crash.
Yeah, that was Wing Commander. Wing Commander is famous for that. That was one of the big games that like kept getting faster and faster until they had to like finally release a patch. That's back when they actually had to release full video games and couldn't release basically betas.
Right.
That's one thing I don't like about the current game industry. A lot of like the AAA games are so dodgy when they come out.
Oh yeah, release day patches.
Yeah.
The game comes out and you have to download a 16 gig file with the game. Yeah, that they released. What I'm really, really hate about the gaming industry right now, and it's the Steam model that's like really making it a big deal, is the early access gaming. It's like, hey, pay the full $20 for this game, and then you get to play our alpha version that we're using to build stuff in the game, and you get to play some of these crappy levels, and then they might make a couple $1 million because the idea is so great, and then they never do anything with it. They never release it. Like Starbound is a perfect example.
It's like the Kickstarter. Yeah, it's basically Kickstarter for games.
Yeah, but you can't hold them to anything.
You can't hold anything on to Kickstarter either.
That's true. Yeah, but there's a real big push in the gaming community, like on Reddit and stuff to like not buy those early access games anymore. Because when it first came out, like a year and a half ago, everybody thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's turned out to not be great at all.
I haven't done it, but the only one I would have done that for was DayZ.
I still think that's an early access game. I still think if you buy DayZ, it would be technically like under early access.
Yeah.
Like I bought Starbound under early access. I bought Prison Architect under early access. I've bought actually quite a few games. Today I got Besiege,
Huh.
which is the engineering simulation game where you're building like catapults and siege weapons and stuff from scratch. Like you have to come up with your own idea and to defeat the whatever the objective is. Like get through the wall and 30 archers to destroy a house or something or a castle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great game. That's a great game.
Yeah.
I've been getting into it. But it's very early access, like very early access. You only get like 8 levels. But it's also only $6, and the game they gave you is very polished. Like you have an 8 levels of really polished game, so it's worth the $6. What I hate is when you pay $30 for Prison Architect and you get half the game, then they never give. It wasn't worth the $30 that they gave you, and then they never make it worth the $30.
Right.
That's the part that I get so fucking frustrated with.
Yeah,
but it was my choice to spend the money.
Yeah, I don't know how it is now, but DayZ back when it was just a mod,
Mm-hmm.
like I actually had to like buy Arma to play
3?
it. Arma 2. The
Arma
original
2.
was on 2. It was one of the few games that actually like freaked me out a little bit.
I think me and you, if you wanted to get on Twitch and do the DayZ together, that's the only reason. That's the only way I would play. I don't want to play by myself. But if you, me and you wanted to, if you and I wanted to,
but you have to buy the game now, and
I don't mind.
yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I want to spend the money on it.
If we could do that and do one of the high population like RPG servers where you can like eventually own a base that's safe and have those would be fun.
Yeah, but like,
if you already own Terraria though, we're gonna start there.
Okay, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Another great game, old game, if you can find it, is Machiavelli. It's like a trading root game, like it's obviously 1500s, Florence or Rome
France
or wherever,
Italy,
and you build all these trading routes, and there's the Senate, and then there's the church, and you can like assassinate cardinals and like buy off cardinals and make yourself the Pope. It's super fun.
Yeah, old school, right?
Oh, real old school.
Yeah, sounds cool. Hey, how long do you want to go tonight?
I mean, we're working on 2 hours already.
Yeah, I feel like we've already done a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It's like you either want to cut it off soon or you want to let me go take a 10 15 minute break.
Let's start wrapping her up.
Okay.
Because I probably should go to sleep and.
All right then. Well, let's just okay. You can edit that part out, I guess.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
To kind of get off the gaming subject a little bit, I got something else that's kind of a fun question.
All right.
I love this question actually. I'll link it to you. I found it off of Reddit.
All right.
You can choose one thing to be the best at. You're the best that ever was or that ever will be. Okay. Well, I don't know about ever was or will be because it won't affect the past. But the way it works is you don't get any better at it. Just everybody else on the planet is now worse than you. What do you think would be fun? Or what do you think what would you want to be the best at while everybody else was? You see what I'm saying?
So I don't get any better. It's just that everyone else gets worse.
This is exactly how it's worded. Yeah, this is exactly how you can choose one thing to be the best at. Your title as the best will never be broken. However, you're only as skilled as you are now. Everyone else just gets worse.
Man. See, I'm trying to think of something that like wouldn't ruin the world. Because I definitely don't want to be the best doctor there ever was at my current skill level.
Or even programmer, right?
Or even programmer, no. Yeah, the world's over if that happens.
some answers that I thought were fun. Some standout. Murder. I am not very good at murder. So everybody else would get pretty shitty at murder. Playing poker. I'd like to be the best poker player ever, but everybody else just gets worse than I am. I think that would be awesome. But I think the best one. The best one would be public speaking. Because listening to everybody on the news or the president or anybody like that be as awkward and nervous and as shitty at public speaking as I am, that would be awesome. Another one that would actually be beneficial that wouldn't ruin the planet is you're just the best at writing resumes.
The best at writing resumes. Yeah, I can see that one. That would be pretty good. I don't know, man. Like everything like I think of would just ruin the universe. Or just wouldn't be fun, you know?
I can give you another question.
Okay.
This one, I'll take that one and you can have this one. What would you not do for 100,000, but you would do for 1 million?
Oh man, that's
1 million is quite a bit.
Tax free.
I mean, even it's in your bank account. You wake up and no one even asks where it came from.
Okay.
You don't even have to bother putting it in the account. It's already in there. Or it's cold hard cash under your mattress if that's what you like.
Right. Okay. For $1 million.
And you get to define the terms. You know, nobody knows, or everybody knows, or.
I mean, I would create corporate espionage for $1 million.
But you wouldn't do it for 100?
No.
100 grand's a lot. You wouldn't give up some trade. It's not worth.
You're going to jail for like 10 years if you get caught.
No shit.
Or more, depending on what it is. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, corporate espionage is a big deal. I mean,
so I worked for
prison, but still.
Right. So I worked for Mitsubishi, and then go work for Chevrolet. While I'm working for Mitsubishi, get high up in the engineering department, and steal one of the secrets and give it back to Mitsubishi. Like, hey, this is what they're working on. Like that kind of espionage.
Yeah. Like
big
funneling
trouble, huh?
trade secrets.
Kind of like stock trading stuff, huh?
Well, yeah, but
kind
more
of
a like, you know, I'm working for, say, like I'm working for Pfizer, right? And there's a competing pharmaceutical company. They managed to get me a job in their lab, and I start funneling new secrets that stuff they're working on back to Pfizer. That
right,
kind
I
of
get
stuff. I would do that.
I get it.
If no one got hurt, I'd commit arson.
Okay.
You know,
assuming the responsibility is that if you got caught, that's the reason it's worth the value. Because if you just let me burn a building down, I'll do it right now for free.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to pay me.
I'd do it for $1 million, but I wouldn't do it for 100.
Right, with the risk involved, is what you're saying.
Right.
Mine was suck a dick. You know, like if somebody I didn't know.
You'd do it for $1 million, but not 100,000.
Well, my actual limit was sleep with somebody. Like sleep with a guy, like some guy off the street, not off the street, but like some millionaire is like, hey man, how much to sleep with you? 100 grand? And I'm like, no. And he'd have to go all the way to $1 million before I'd be like, okay. And that's the whole 9 yards. He gets to do everything he wants to do, you know. And that's for, you know, a stranger, somebody I didn't know.
Yeah.
$1 million.
I don't know if I'd do that for $1 million.
Yes, you would.
I probably would.
You're not going to get any diseases and nobody knows. Just some millionaire, like you spend an afternoon and yeah, it'd be okay. It'd be okay.
Let's see, for $1 million, I'd kick a puppy for $1 million.
You're a horrible bastard.
Not for 100,000.
Okay, that's a pretty good line. Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, I'd drop kick a cat for about 50
50
grand.
bucks. I might even pay you to do it. Pull. That's an old family joke from Jacob's family. They're not actually bad with cats. I think they even own one now.
They did for a long time.
Hmm. Yeah.
But he died.
But it was a classic joke. It's the best thing to do with a cat. Pull. Boosh. And it would work out between the two of them. The dad would do the joke and the son would do the whole motion. It was funny. All in good fun, though.
All in good fun, yes. We love animals.
What's the worst thing you could put in a pinata?
Syringes.
Syringes? Well, you're hitting it with a bat. You might be all right. You might just knock one into somebody. But that's the worst, right?
It's like broccoli, I don't know.
Hornets come to mind. Everybody dies, or not dies, but wishes they were dead. Nothing. If you didn't put anything in a pinata, that would be horrible. That would be, especially for like a kid's thing. Another pinata. Or glitter. Glitter would be hilarious.
Especially if you're inside.
Did you know you can mail your enemies glitter?
No, I did not.
It's an actual. Yep. Here, let me find it. Yep, I will find you the link. It's a website. Some guy made it up just out of fun. Put it on Reddit, and they broke the servers for like 2 days ordering stuff, and he started a new career off of it. Yeah. So all you simply do is it sends this spring-loaded envelope package thing. So when you open it, it goes poof, right? And it shoots it everywhere. And then it has this really horrible generic letter about how much of a horrible human being you must be to have an enemy that would send you this. And good luck cleaning it up, fucker. Every time you find glitter, you're going to remember this moment. And it's hilarious, yeah. It has the middle finger and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, shipyourенemiesglitter.com. That's a thing.
And that is a thing. Well, it is getting pretty late here, so any parting words for the great people at home?
No.
No.
We just talked for an hour and a half. If you didn't get enough, wait till next week.
All right. Good night, everyone. Have fun.
Good night.
Enjoy your night.
Yep. You have to put like 3 objects in the circle or however they works,
Right.
Different spells, different people.
Mm-hmm.
But if I thought this is interesting, if somebody was going to summon you in a chalk circle, what's 3 objects they would have to put in it?
Jeez.
A good IPA.
A good IPA, some cash.
Some cash. Right?
And probably a cell phone or something.
Right? Like a working Wi-Fi router.
Something.
Yeah, I would want like a nice nug of some high-grade marijuana. A working computer for video games. So like put like something that represents video games, right? Like a mouse or something, And then what would be the third one? You got one for me? What would you put in the circle for me?
I mean, just for something
like
probably like a really nice yo-yo. I don't know if you still do that.
Oh yeah, no, I still own.
So you're.
Where are they?
That was always something near and dear to your heart growing up.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, that'd be something from my past anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. We do have some sad news. We are not going to Comic-Con this year. We were not able to get tickets. It's very sad.
That's because the demand on how many tickets were there and how many people were. It just sold out before you even got a chance.
45 minutes. Completely sold out in 45 minutes.
And you clicked refresh for 45 minutes.
Well, what they do is they put everyone into a virtual waiting room.
And you hopefully get lucky.
They're picked out randomly, which is really the fairest way to do it. But
it is.
Yeah.
Damn it, son.
It opened at 9, and every single badge was sold by 9:45. Or, well, 9:45 Pacific.
So how much are on in the secondary market?
Oh, you can't get them.
Well, everything has a price, but it's
Well,
just
everything has a price, but
it's a ridiculous one, huh?
they will they will prosecute you for theft and ban you for life if they catch you for selling or buying secondary badges.
Oh,
Yeah, like it's a crime. It's a crime to sell and buy secondary badges.
yeah, under Comic-Con law.
Yeah. I mean, there have been people like you see it, like they have misdemeanor theft on their record because they bought a secondary badge. Because technically, that badge belongs to one person only, and to have it in any other form is a crime. So,
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jacob.
So now we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do this summer instead of Comic-Con.
My brother got ticket. Huh?
Okay.
Keep going.
It sucks because I had to give up that sweet hotel, or that sweet
Yeah, the one
apartment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, check back on the first podcast, I think.
Yeah, I mean the guy didn't mind too much because, like I said, I got for steal, right?
Right.
Like I think he jacked the rates up to like 400 a night after, and it was booked within an hour of me letting it go.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah, my brother got tickets to Burning Man this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, $836, 2 tickets.
Jesus. I mean that's what, like a week.
It's 2 weeks or it's a week. I can't remember which, but yeah, you're paying taxes to live in a city.
Yeah, that seems about right. But I mean, for a week, $800 isn't terrible.
Not for Burning Man.
Yeah.
In a utopian society where there is no money allowed, everybody just.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 42, where only one of us has hopped up on painkillers. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
You're gonna have to guess which one. Actually, might not even be a true statement. Because if you're not talking about me, then we're both on painkillers.
Oh yeah, I had shoulder surgery this week, so
Then we're both on painkillers.
they gave me some oxy.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's not as great as it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, I know, but when I had my shoulder done, they only gave me Tramadol.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't work much.
It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work at all.
My doctor is very anti-pain. Did you, when you had your shoulder done, did they give you the nerve block?
Yes. Yes.
Did they, like, were you awake for it?
When you have to be awake for the guy to find the spot to put it in, but then they put it in, like, I don't know. If he put it in while I was awake, I don't remember it being as traumatic as when I took it out being awake.
Oh,
have you taken yours out yet?
Oh, yeah. Mine wore off. They did a straight injection of local anesthetic on the nerves.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that little machine that you had to sit in your lap that runs for like 2 days, spitting in chemicals.
No, I didn't have that.
Oh, you didn't have that little box that you took home from the surgery that sat there, and I had a little tube that was, well, it's not a little tube. It was probably, what is that, a foot? 18 inches? It was long, dude, and I had to pull it out of my back, and my girlfriend was doing it, and she just kept pulling and pulling and pulling. Yeah, he had stuck it way down, and yeah, it was
yours is worse
unbelievably
than mine. But like, for those who don't know, the nerve block, they use an electrified needle to find the right nerves.
Yeah, everything starts to. He's like, there it is. Yeah. And then he keeps poking around to make sure that he's kind of like exactly where he's supposed to be. You're like, could you stop? That really
like,
feels weird.
I was like, okay, nerve block. They're gonna inject my neck. Okay, this is weird. But then they're like, yeah, well, we have to tell you there is a risk of stroke and seizure. I'm like,
oh yeah,
fuck.
Yeah.
These people are gonna kill me before I ever get under the knife.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I lost my mind because I've never gone under surgery. I even called you and asked you. I was so nervous. I was like, dude, you've done this a few times, right? It's like, it's gonna be okay, and you're like, you should be fine, dude. I almost had a heart attack in the waiting room. Well, not in the waiting room, but that little room where they got you hooked up before he gives you, the sedatives at all. He's like, well, I'm gonna give you some stuff to calm you down. You seem real nervous.
Yeah. I did okay. The day before, but like day of, I was just like, all right, just get through it. You've done this before. It'll be fine.
Right.
But yeah, they they did give me some sedatives for the nerve block, so I wasn't moving around while they were shooting stuff into my neck, which helped.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I don't like talking about this. It brings back bad memories, man.
has the eighth time I've gone under.
Really.
Yeah.
Ooh. I will. The one thing that made me feel better is I asked the anesthesiologist,
Yeah.
however you say that. I asked him, because he could tell I was real nervous. He goes, "Why are you so nervous? Like, what's the reason?" I was like, because of all the horror stories of people waking up but not being able to move, And he goes, "Well, that is a thing that happens, but I can explain to you why it happens and why it won't happen to you this time. Like, I can guarantee it."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, why is that? Why does it happen, and why can you guarantee it for me?" And he goes, "The only reason they do that is they'll give you another chemical on top of the chemical that puts you to sleep that paralyzes you, so you can't move. So that you'll stay extra still during the surgery, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, with my surgery, they didn't give me that paralyzing agent. And he goes, and if you did start to wake up, your body would automatically start reacting. You start moving. And he goes, I've done this before. I would know that you were waking up, and I would give you more chemicals,
Oh.
Because the only time that happens to somebody is when they wake up and they're under the paralyzing agent, and they're awake and they can't move to tell anybody they're awake. He goes, but if you woke up, you'd have the ability to move and tell us that you were awake. I was like, oh, okay. I felt better. But the nerves are still unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. He did, how they take your blood pressure and your heartbeat before. He's like, you're going to have to calm down or we're not going to be able to do this. And I was like, well, you got anything for that? Because I am freaking out, Yeah, they let my wife back there to hold my hand and stuff. It was
Yeah. I didn't have that, sadly. But it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, out of the sling, thankfully.
Already?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't as, like I said, it wasn't as big as yours. And
you got oxys? This is not a fair system. Not a fair system.
I don't know. I mean,
how bad is it? Can you use it?
Huh?
How bad is it? Can you use it?
I can't lift it. Not like that.
Got a gnarly scar? You want to see mine? You can't really.
Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Nah, mine was straight. Mine was scoped, so just the pinholes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Like
no, they flayed me open like a fish. Had to put all those bones back together because I had taken essentially like a imagine if you took like a broom handle and just snapped it would have all the pieces, and then it was sitting on top of it like this. So they had to put all that back together and then
rough.
Put it. Yeah.
No, they I can use it. It's not very weak, and I just don't have a lot of range of motion right now. But I can
look forward to some extra.
Huh?
Yay! Look forward to some movement soon.
Yeah, and I start PT this week, and that's going to be so much fun and so painful. Oh, now looking forward to that.
Yeah, you have moments where you want to ask them, I'll do what you're asking me, as long as you'll promise me that it isn't going to break. Because it feels like it's about to break, and you want me to go another couple inches, and they're like, no, it's okay, keep going. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. And if you could just, I don't mind the pain, but you just need to explain to me, I need to trust in the fact that you believe that it's okay to move it that far, because the pain is at a point where it's like, no, you shouldn't move it any farther. And I don't know, that stuff's hard, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Not looking forward to it, but it is what it is, and get through it. It's what you got to do with the surgeries and stuff. So
I got through a few more of the Dresden Files.
Oh yeah, where are you at?
Let's see. You've got? Hang on, I'll go to right now. What am I listening to? I'm on chapter 10. I'm on chapter 9 of The Death Mask.
Oh, that's my favorite book.
Is it?
Yeah,
I love the faith-based magic, and this one seems to have a lot of it.
Oh yeah. Because you meet all the other Knights of the Cross.
Right, the katana-wielding old man from Japan and the Russian.
Yeah.
The atheists.
The atheists who survived the cross.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's one of my favorites. You learn a lot about the mobster and And the
Marconi.
Denarians are recurring characters for the entire series.
Cool.
Like, they are back in the most recent book.
Awesome. And it's just this computer program that writes stuff that you can't hardly distinguish between paragraphs between 50 Shades of Grey or a computer. And I was like, I don't think I'll ever waste my time with that then.
Well, I mean, it started as a Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
For people who I know who have read both books, it's like, yeah, if you were just to change the names out, you couldn't tell that it wasn't 50 Shades or if it wasn't Twilight.
Really, Twilight was pretty dirty, huh?
Well, it's just Twilight was apparently really simple too.
Oh, simple, right? That's the one thing I do not like about the Dresden Files is the sex scenes. They're like totally PG-13, and they go on for way too long.
They get better.
And I'm like, they're not necessary.
They're really not, and you can tell it as it goes on. It becomes a more adult series.
Mm-hmm.
There's more cursing, more sex.
Really?
Yeah. I think he was still trying to find his niche, and probably understood that, hey, you know what, my audience is probably getting older since I've been writing these books for 5 or 6 years.
Right. That's cool. In the book they can change. Well, so far in the book, only can a few of them mortals have changed shape, and they changed it in the wolves, but they get to keep like all of their humanity pretty much while they're wolves. If you could change into not just a wolf, but any animal for one day, and you get to keep you. So as smart as just you can't tell the difference intelligent wise. You just you in the form of a whatever. What are you gonna choose?
Probably like an eagle or something, like some kind of big bird that can just fly around. And
I thought like a fly would be pretty cool, like something small, like a sparrow or something. I also thought to be a dolphin and to spend one day in just essentially in an alien world, a completely foreign world.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
It would be fun,
especially if you get special abilities where you get to translate. Like you can talk. If you're a crow, you could talk to other crows, or if you're a dolphin, you could talk to dolphins. Something like out of a Disney movie.
That'd be fun.
Now, that would be really interesting. I don't know. Being a crow would be fun. Seeing what black magic those motherfuckers know. Those things are aliens. If anything on this planet's an alien, it's a crow. Those things are not normal. Did you know there's almost indistinguishable between each other? If we had 10 crows and I showed you one, and then I showed you 10 pictures of crows, you wouldn't be able to pick out which one it was?
That doesn't surprise me. That's true for a lot of animals.
Yeah. But it's true for all crows. You could take all 1 million or billion of the population, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're all the same.
Wow. Huh.
Did you know there's also a species is the right word? Whatever. Of lizards that they are born pregnant, and they are genetic replicas of themselves.
Yeah, I've heard
and
about
there
that.
is no males in the whole species. They're all just exactly the exact same. I thought that was crazy. I was like, wow, that can happen? That's so...
Yeah, there's a type of dog over in the UK that's been bred a specific way. In the entire whole of the United Kingdom, God, I don't remember which dog it is, but there's only 50 unique genetic dogs. There's thousands of them, or hundreds of thousands of them in the UK, but there's only 50 unique, genetically unique dogs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
In the Dresden Files, he uses summoning circles.
Right.
And he has to pay like a certain price.
I'm
glad he's still writing the books.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to do 6 more.
Damn, nice.
So he's got 3 more, and then he said he's going to do like an apocalyptic trilogy to end the series.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So
scary.
They'll give him to about book 23 if he hits them all.
Nice.
So yeah, he's prolific, and because he writes other books too, besides the Dresden Files. Like he had this series, I think it was just a trilogy called the Codex Alera, and it's very like high fantasy kind of stuff. it will have like the reason he wrote it is he was at some kind of writing workshop and someone bet him he couldn't write a good book on a bad idea.
Okay.
Starting in, he's like, I'll do you one better. I'll write a book with two bad ideas. Pokemon mixed with the Lost Legion of Rome.
Okay.
It's this like mystical land where people who like can control these furies, which are like element spirits. Or
That's
it's
funny.
I'm only like 10 chapters in, but it's pretty good.
Awesome.
But it's completely different, just completely different type of story. And
Right.
apparently, I think he's starting to write a steampunk
Oh,
uh,
fun.
book. And his wife, I think, is like leading like erotic literature, like romance novel, kind of like 50 Shades of Grey kind of
50
stuff.
Shades of Grey.
I think on that level, except
Did you
probably
see
better.
the Pornhub's like stats
No,
on the release day after Shades of Grey?
no,
Or for the release day for 50 Shades of Grey? Do you want to go over a few?
sure.
Okay, here. Let me give me a second. I'll link the Where's this at? It's safe for work, so no big deal. But anyway, I thought some of the more interesting ones. Uh, so just like overall general BDSM searches for women. Let's see. Where does it say?
Oh, it really shut up for women.
Yeah, it
Let's
really shoots up for
see.
women, but if you go down a little bit, so if you go over like the terms, so like submission, BDSM, domination, flogging, chains, rope, dominatrix, stuff like that, it's up 55%. The day that it came out was submission, being
Yeah,
submissive. BDSM was up 42%, dominate 40%, flogging 33%. And it's really funny if you get down a little bit further, it breaks it down by female versus male. Increases in BDM searches by gender after the releases of 50 Shades of Grey.
yes, yeah.
Submission, women 219% increase. Dominate 196% increase. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I read that uh, sales for the gear had skyrocketed with the movie upcoming and
The stories from some of the theaters, they have to be just fake. And just people cleaning up the theater talking, they found handcuffs and sex toys and used condoms, and it's just like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean,
I
it's
guess it's
just
just an excuse, like a cultural excuse.
it basically is. It's just a
Yeah,
cultural excuse.
it's a phenomenon. I've never read the book. I've never seen the movie. But I heard that somebody said it was so easy that they could write a computer program that could write 50 Shades of Grey. And so they did.